In this video, we're going to be talking about what OCD is and the two biggest myths related to this that I believe are keeping many people stuck. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Pavel and I'm an OCD expert and an OCD psychologist. In my super duper small country, the Czech Republic, I wrote a book on OCD, actually 2 books on OCD. One is an ebook. I made a Czech OCD channel with over 200 videos. Now, 20 years ago, I got OCD myself when I was 7 years old, and there are 2 myths that I believe kept me stuck way longer than I had to be. Let's see what these 2 myths are. The first myth has to do with the general misunderstanding of what OCD actually even is. What the hell is even that? Because, I mean, when you go on all these other, way worse, what is OCD videos, what you see is, here's a list of what obsessions can be about, and there's always a sexual theme, a contamination theme. Well, there was never my theme. Diagnosed at 7 years old, guess what my main theme of OCD was? It was about my sister. Oops. I was completely obsessed that she's gonna destroy my life. I couldn't be in one room with her. I was always thinking about how she's gonna destroy my life somehow. I know this sounds stupid. I know it sounds like it's not OCD, but it completely was. Yes! Yes! And because there's no video out there, actually back then there were no videos, but because even nowadays, if I would go to what is OCD, there are no sisters. There's never mentioned in these biggest videos that OCD can be quite literally about anything. Just as there are human fears and they're infinite, there can be infinite amount of OCD themes. And then there is another thing that has to do with this myth, which is that a lot of people think that OCD is just a little cute quirk. Like, oh, I'm so OCD, shut the... OCD is not just a little cute quirk, it's one of the worst disorders on planet Earth. And it always has obsessions and compulsions. And obsessions are almost like a monster in our life. They're just like, not just thoughts, which is another misconception, or urges, which is what every video says, they can be sensations. And this was another thing that was hugely bad for me, because my second theme after my sister was somatic OCD, which is OCD where the obsessions are bodily feelings, bodily pain. So it's not thoughts at all. And again, when I clicked on YouTube, when I went online, and this was in prehistoric ages of the internet, there was nothing mentioned about it, and still is not. Often these videos just say thoughts or urges. Obsessions are not just thoughts or urges. They're virtually a whole state that has emotions under control, physical feelings, and thoughts. And OCD is kind of like this monster that sits behind a desk, a control panel, and it's like, oh, what is Paul afraid of? Because obsessions always revolve around what you value the most. So, oh, maybe he really loves his wife actually. Ding, low laugh. Because why not? Let's pepper his life a little and make him feel like he doesn't love her at all. So another misconception is that OCD is just thoughts or urges, which was in all the videos I watched on the topic yesterday. No, it's sensations, it's emotions, it's this whole overall state that feels completely real. And because you don't want it to be real, you don't want to feel like you don't love your partner, for example, or like you're a homosexual, or like you want to kill someone, or like you hate your sister. What? What you do is that you do compulsions, and those are rituals to ward off that fear. So they can be stuff like avoiding something, to not make that fear come true or to not make it worse. They may be stuff like reassurance. Oh, ChatGPT, is this just OCD or is it real? Hey mom, is my sister really destroying my life or not? That was me literally 24/7. Damn! It may be rumination. Hey, is my sister really destroying my life or not? And you're trying to figure it out. All these things are aimed at getting 100% certainty that your fear won't come true. And all these things are harming you because they are feeding your OCD. It's like a monster that's feeding on these compulsions. So OCD is this vicious cycle of obsessions and compulsions. It makes your worst fear feel like it already came true, and it's not this cute little, oh, I'm just so OCD. What most people think schizophrenia is actually OCD, because most people think schizophrenia is when you believe something that's completely unreal, but that's actually what OCD is. What schizophrenia is people seeing hallucinations, things that are not there, which is not what we folks with OCD experience. What we have though is that if you have severe form of OCD, you can truly believe, absolutely believe, that something nonsensical is a reality for you. And that's a really bad thing. That's not just, oh, it's just OCD. No, that's what most of you who don't have OCD think schizophrenia is. That's what OCD is. You believe in some delusion so much that you cannot see that it's not real. There is another more subtle myth that's keeping people stuck on the OCD journey, and that kept me stuck. See, we love to go the scientific route with OCD. And here's a strange thing I realized in my diploma thesis. Virtually any single psychiatric literature always says things like, oh, it's just genetic, it's just chemical imbalance, it's just overactive centers in your brain, that's why you have OCD. And then in the next paragraph, it says things like, OCD wants to destroy your life and everything in it. Like, what?
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So what is it? Is it just this innocent brain being kind of confused, chemically imbalanced? Or is it like literally this monster that you're literally writing in the next paragraph it is, that's after me and everything that's valuable for me? For the first 3 years or so in my recovery, I believe that it's the scientific explanation that's just valid and helping me out. I even wrote an ebook that was all about why OCD is a confused brain and nothing more. But only after I started seeing OCD as this real monster did my recovery and life really change. You see, philosopher Seneca had this great quote. He said that no human being is more unhappy than a man or a woman who never has an antagonist in her or his life, because such a man or woman will never know what they are capable of. After I discovered what I call inner warrior, or what the OG psychologist Robert Moore actually called the warrior archetype, I was convinced that I gotta see OCD more as this monster eating at my life, and not as this cute little confused brain that has, oh, I just have, some genetic info that's kind of bad, and so I'm just misfiring. Actually, that really changed my recovery so much, because ever since that, I was really like, okay, OCD is after my life and everything that I love, and I'm not gonna let it win. Moore said, our psyche needs an enemy in order to be fully energized, in order to fully achieve its full potential, and not be lazy pretty much, not procrastinate, but to really go after something. It just gives you this healthy anger, this energy to be like, screw you OCD, you're not taking my life away.
Please, no! 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 No!
Hence why I coined this term in my diploma thesis, which said, scientific lens and mythical lens in viewing your OCD. Keep your scientific lens, keep those goggles on, they're important, yeah, OCD is probably genetic, but most of the time, actually put the mythical goggles on. And those mythical goggles, as I said, they are like, OCD is taking my life. I'm not gonna let it. That's why, the TED Talk called OCD is a Monster, Starve It, has so many great reactions. If you take a look at the comments in that video, they're so engaging. They're like, yeah, that's what I feel. They're way more engaging than in any other OCD video I've probably ever seen. It just resonates to view OCD more like an enemy than just clinically as confused brain, chemical imbalance, genetic something. Because for millions of years, our human brain has wired to ward off predators that wanted to kill us and kill our families. And there's just this something incredibly powerful about getting healthily angry. It just gives you so much energy and motivation to completely change your life and overhaul it and change everything in it and start waking up early and stop your addictions and just start living the really good life, because you're like, hey OCD, you want me not to live a good life? Well, I'm not gonna let you win. I'm gonna live a good life despite of what you say, despite of your best efforts. I'm gonna live it out as much as I can. So it's kind of like, Marcus Aurelius said that the obstacle becomes the way, and this is what happened with my life. I really like my life now, but it's because I stopped viewing OCD as genetic this, genetic that, like you can see in Dr. Matthews' video. It's in the brain, like everyone's always obsessed that, oh, OCD is in the brain, it starts here. Well, drop the scientific goggles for now, or keep them, but most of the time, wear the mythical ones. That's my recommendation for you. That would save me years of way better recovery work on myself. And if you'd like help on your journey, a guide for one-on-one sessions, let me know on packpavel.com. debunking.com/en. If you like this video, please go check out my other video on OCD setbacks and how to turn those into your best days in recovery. And I'm gonna see you with some other video. Have a good one, guys, and sayonara. And thank you so much for watching. Peace.